everybody. So, listen, this is not a regular podcast episode, but what I thought would be fun would be to do like a bonus video and do something kind of fun or interesting that's different than what I normally do. And so I went on to DuckDuckGo and I pulled up some pages. And the first one I wanted to do is this is from the Pew Research Center, and it's the political party quiz. And I was just curious as to what it was and like what you would answer and how it would come out. So we have retired we have retired the 2016 political party quiz, but may be releasing a new version based on more recent public opinion data in the future. Find out how your combination of political values compares with other Americans by taking our political typology quiz. Okay, well, we'll do that. Are you a core conservative, a solid liberal, or somewhere in between? Take our quiz to find out which one of our political typology groups is your best match compared with a nationally representative survey of more than 5,000 U.S. adults by Pew Research Center. You may find some of these questions are difficult to answer. For example, you may partly agree with both statements or feel that neither quite describes your view. That's okay. In those cases, pick the answer that comes closest to your view, even if it isn't exactly right. Okay. Number one, which of the following statements comes closest to your view? The government should do more to help needy Americans, even if it means going deeper into debt. The government today can't afford to do much more to help the needy. I'm going to say the government can't afford to. And most of the time, that you should give a hand up instead of a hand out. And a lot of the help that we're giving today is not helping people to be able to start being more self sufficient. So I'm going to say they can't afford it. Which of the following statements comes closest to your view? Government is almost always wasteful and inefficient. Government often does a better job than people give it credit for. Government is almost always wasteful. The best way to ensure peace is through military strength. Good diplomacy is the best way to ensure peace. Well, I think military strength is good, but I do believe you need to have good diplomacy too. I'm going to say good diplomacy on this one. Racial discrimination is the main reason why many black people can't get ahead these days. Black people who can't get ahead in this country are mostly responsible for their own condition. Okay, my answer is that most of them are responsible for their own condition in the year of 2021. I understand that there was a time when racial discrimination did keep black people from being able to get ahead. But in the year of 2021, that is no longer a thing. And if you are where you are there because of your own choices. Government regulation of business is necessary to protect the public interest. Government regulation of business usually does more harm than good. Yeah, usually does more harm than good. Homosexuality should be accepted by society. Homosexuality should be discouraged by society. It should be discouraged. And one reason is it's not just because it's part of my religious belief that it's not something that you should entertain. The second reason is because when you accept that and entertain it, look at what society has turned into after we just blindly accepted all of that when it started really coming out in maybe the early 90s. This is what happens now because of that acceptance. And also, if homosexuality was so normal, then you would be what man and woman were made and they reproduce. A man and a man or a woman and a woman, they cannot reproduce. The point, if you believe in science that everything that is created can all reproduce when it's used properly. Animals reproduce with animals and they reproduce of their own kind. Same with people. And if you can't reproduce, if it doesn't naturally make something like that, then it's unnatural. I probably explained that horribly. Business cooperations make too much profit. Most corporations, I said cooperations, business corporations make too much profit. Most corporations make a fair and reasonable amount of profit. I mean, it's their business and they provide a service or a product, excuse me, that people want. And if people are willing to pay, then they're making what I guess they feel like they should make. It's their risk assessment that they put into it, and now they're reaping the benefits. Stricter environmental laws and regulations cost too many jobs and hurt the economy. Stricter environmental laws and regulations are worth the cost. I don't think they're worth the cost because it's not hurting the environment as bad as people claim that it is. Immigrants today strengthen our country because of their hard work and talents. Immigrants today are a burden on our country because they take our jobs, housing, and health care. Um, Look, right now they're a burden because we don't have just legal immigrants, we have illegal immigrants on top of that. And it's becoming a burden because we're losing jobs and the housing, and it's burdening down the health care. A lot of them that, because they're illegal, they're not putting in their fair share, so everybody else is having to cover that cost. And not to mention, if I cannot stop yawning. Not to mention that they're not assimilating, and that you're supposed to, when you become a citizen of another country, you move there, you assimilate to their values, their culture, and that's not happening anymore. So I'm going to say it's a burden. Poor people today have it easy because they can get government benefits without doing anything in return. Poor people have hard lives because government benefits don't go far enough to help them live decently. I think that's because if you look at someone like, okay, say a husband and a wife are married, they have two kids. The husband leaves, the wife was a stay at home mom, and now all of a sudden she's alone and she's got to take care of these two kids. And she goes to get government help, like food stamps and things like that, until she can get on her feet. In that situation, it doesn't go far enough. It's very hard for a single mom to support a family with that type of government assistance when she's just starting out in the workforce for the first time because she was a stay-at-home mom. So that's just one example. There are situations where it doesn't help enough, but then there are situations where it's so easy. People just get all this free money. I think it's actually more easy because people seem to do the things that they can to continue getting government benefits. Like the more kids you have, and so they have more kids. I don't know, but I think maybe it's more easy than not enough. The economic system in this country unfairly favors powerful interests. The economic system in this country is generally fair to most Americans. I think it favors powerful interests. Our country has made the changes needed to give black people equal rights with white people. Our country needs to continue making changes to give black people equal rights with white people. No, we've already done that. Which of the following, oh, I don't know why I keep reading that. It's the best for the future of our country to be active in world affairs. We should pay less attention to problems overseas and concentrate on problems here at home. Absolutely. We're not the world police. Most people who want to get ahead can make it if they're willing to work hard. Hard work and determination are no guarantee of success for most people. Nope, don't believe that. The obstacles that once made it harder for women than men to get ahead are now largely gone. They are still significant obstacles that make it harder for women. No, they're not. In foreign policy, the U.S. should take into account the interests of its allies, even if it means making compromises with them. In foreign policy, the U.S. should follow its own national interests, even when its allies strongly disagree. Of course, our interests are more important. Your country comes first. Your citizens come first. In politics today, do you consider yourself a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent? Well, I would definitely consider myself just, a conservative Christian. I don't really identify as any of the political parties, but for the sake of the quiz, I would be Republican. Okay, your best fit is core conservatives, along with 13% of the public. This overwhelmingly Republican group holds conservative attitudes across a wide range of issues, especially in their support for smaller government. Core conservatives are deeply skeptical of the social safety net and favor lower tax rates and corporations and high income individuals. While they are divided on whether immigrants do more to strengthen or burden the country, core conservatives offer more positive views of immigrants than do country first conservatives. Core conservatives are relatively upbeat about national conditions, and a majority says that the United States stands above all other nations in the world. So, okay, just comparing your answers. Okay, well, a core conservative. I mean, like I didn't already know. And then there was this other one here from politicalpersonality.org. I don't know. I thought it might be fun. Um, so, what is a political party personality quiz? This type of quiz measures your values, attitudes, and engagement along 20 unique personality traits. The political personality party quiz then matches you with the political personality type closest to your values. When you're matched, you'll receive a detailed report of how closely your values align to different political parties Democrat, Republican, Green, and Libertarian using a percentage match. You can view the political party's platform to see if it truly aligns with your values and ambitions. The quiz is completely anonymous, private, and takes less than 2 minutes. Have fun. All right, let's do it. Rate how much you disagree or agree with the following statements. I like to post political articles or comments on social media. I agree. I read or watch a lot of political content every week. Yes. I directly participate in political campaigns. I'm neutral. Well, does donating count? Does that count or no? I'm just saying it's too neutral because I don't know if that counts. I rely on scientific sources to understand political issues. What? Neutral because I don't. Some might agree. Neutral. I don't know because what is that? What is it asking? Like I need it to be proven? I don't know. I want to greatly change the way things are. Yep, I do. I do everything I can to protect traditional religious values. Yes. An education system that teaches science and tolerance is essential for democracy. Science and tolerance? No. Science, maybe. Tolerance, no. What? Um, I believe that people are good at heart. No, we're not. The U.S. should always honor world agreements and support our allies. Nope. Our planet's health should be a priority over business growth. No, it should not. Protecting LGBTQ minority and women's rights is very important. No, and let me tell you why. Because we are all equal under the law, which is what we should be. But all this extra stuff that you demand, you can only get it when you take away from somebody else. So, no, I disagree with that. My country should respect immigrants and provide a fair path to citizenship. Well, you don't necessarily have to. You don't have to let people come to your country. Maximizing business wealth should be our country's top priority. Well, no, it shouldn't be our top priority. Access to universal and affordable health care is a fundamental right. No, it is not. Government should strongly regulate business. Nope, they should not. Submit my answers. 84% Republican. Stalwart nationalist. You are a determined and assertive nationalist fighting for tradition. Stalwart nationalists are loyalists who harness hard-hearted rationality to promote their values at all costs. You respect law, authority, and tradition, often with the winner-takes-all mentality. With an American first mindset, you believe that protecting traditional American values and high economic growth are the country's top priorities. Unafraid to speak your mind, you let everyone know how you feel. You project confidence, charisma, and authority more than any other political personality type. As a matter of fact, when you are inspired, you are easily able to lead and guide others around a common cause with your sharp demeanor and self confidence. Being strong willed and efficient, you are also known for your my way or the highway type of mentality that often upsets emotional personality types. That's because you are unafraid to say what you believe to be true. If you disagree with someone, you are likely to let them know it immediately. Others may see you as insensitive or overly practical, but this doesn't stop you from saying or achieving what you believe to be right. You can be a little uncanny in how you achieve your goals, but you don't care as long as the job gets done. In politics, you are most likely to support causes that revolve around tradition, faith, and job opportunity. As a stalwart nationalist, your top values focus around protective nationalism and exceptionalism, even at the expense of broader social norms and programs. Policies should be optimized for maximizing domestic jobs with limited oversight. You rely on the economy to be working as it should with the max number of jobs. Traditional American values and faiths should be protected at all costs. Businesses and individuals should be free to pursue their goals without government intervention, and policies should be prioritized to protect America's domestic and global interests. Using MPP's trait and engagement criteria, your personality match as a stalwart nationalist shows higher levels of political engagement and value assertiveness. This means that you aren't afraid to publicly voice your opinions, even if it upsets others or comes across as controversial. You tend to be very steadfast in your beliefs, meaning that your views aren't easily changed by new information. Political engagement high, idealism, I'm a pessimistic mostly, change appetite, status quo, decision making process, emotional reasoning, agreeableness, I'm close minded, and value assertiveness, I'm very assertive. An ideal world for you is one where traditional values, institutions, and religious rights help drive social and economic policy. You believe that people should toughen up, pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and not wait for government to come in and save the day. The role of government should be to promote the free market and let businesses do what they want. Ideally, government would not fund large social safety nets, but would rely on the private market to fill those demand gaps. You would thrive in a society where you can speak your mind openly without fear of hurting someone's feelings or coming across as offensive. You believe that you should be able to tell it like it is, and if people don't like it, then that's their problem. Yeah, I totally do believe that. Political party alignment, so Republican. Party priorities, Liberty. 2020 presidential match, Republican ticket. Policy priorities, social health care 15%, environmental health 10%, wealth maximization 80%, immigration rights 10%, social equity 30%, education reform 60%, religious fundamentals 95%, amicable global relations 10%, and law and regulation 40%. Your decision making is grounded in reality, not in emotional reasoning. You project confidence in everything that you do. You are easily able to persuade others to your line of thinking. You stand up for what you believe in and let others know it. My weaknesses. You may look down on others who see things differently than you do. I do not. You may come across as too practical and not emphatic to emotional causes. You stick to your guns even in the face of new evidence or facts. Others can have a hard time understanding or reaching you. Okay, first of all, I'm not closed off and I'm not inflexible. If you can prove to me that I'm wrong, if you can show me facts where I was wrong, I will admit it and I will go with what's right. So what was this? Oh, I don't want to view plot. So, activated stalwart nationalists are known for being good team builders and look for people who can help them achieve their dreams and ambitions. For stalwart nationalists looking to get involved or run for political office, it is best for them to build a team of like minded individuals who can help them and support them achieve their goals. If this personality type is unafraid to speak their mind, they can draw big crowds and find the right people to achieve their means. Their projected competence helps rally people around a cause and can often help policies succeed in a dog eat dog world. Faith and value driven, stalwart nationalists will find purpose upholding traditional and faith based American values, ensuring that American supremacy is top of mind for all. So, is that even a real thing, a stalwart nationalist? I'm curious because I've never heard of it. So, the Stalwarts were a faction of the Republican Party that existed briefly in the United States during and after Reconstruction and the Gilded Age during the 1870s and 1880s. Led by U.S. Senator Roscoe Conkling, also known as Lord Roscoe, Stalwarts were sometimes called Conklingites. Okay, there you go. That's what a stalwart nationalist is. Okay, so then there was this 2021 political quiz with isidewith.com. You just answer the questions. So let's see what this one's like. And I'm letting you know where you can go and do all these in case you want to do ones. I enjoy doing them. Okay, number one. Should the government continue to fund Planned Parenthood? No. How important is this to you? More important. What is your stance on abortion? I'm pro life. It's most important. Should health insurance providers be required to offer free birth control? No. Should the Electoral College be abolished? No. Should foreigners currently residing in the United States have the right to vote? What are other stances? Um, no, only legal citizens should be allowed to vote. Should a photo ID be required to vote? Yes. Should the government increase spending on public transportation? No. Should the president be able to authorize military force against Al Qaeda without congressional approval? No, that's how it was meant to work, and it should continue to work that way. Should the U.S. Assassinate suspected terrorists in foreign countries? What are the other stances? Read. Oh, well, I don't want that. There are no more stances. Okay. Um, so I'm going to say that yes. Should the government increase? Well, I said yes if they were planning on attacking the country. Can you answer two? Okay. Should the government increase environmental regulations to prevent climate change? No. Should the U.S. withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement? Yes. Should disposable products such as plastic cups, plates, and cutlery that contain less than 50% of biodegradable material be banned? No. That's stupid. All right. Should there be more restrictions on the current process of purchasing a gun? No, there's plenty of restrictions. Should teachers be allowed to carry guns at school? Let's see what the other stances are. Yes, schools should require at least one teacher or security guard. Hire professionally trained security guards instead. Um, I would say that yes, you should have somebody, a security guard, a trained user of a gun, a teacher. It would protect people. I'm telling you, it would. Should victims of gun violence be allowed to sue firearms dealers and manufacturers? No, because they don't control what people do after they purchase a gun. Should funding for local police departments be redirected to social and community based programs? No. Should police departments be allowed to use military grade equipment? Yes. Should convicted criminals have the right to vote? No. Should the U.S. and the reason why is when you commit crimes and you're convicted of these crimes, because you have to be a convicted felon. It's not like misdemeanors, things like that. If you're a convicted felon, you have forfeited your rights because of the crimes that you committed. You don't deserve to get them back. That's just the way it is. These are deterrents to committing crime. Should the U.S. raise taxes on the rich? No. Do you know that the richest people pay almost the entire percentage of our income tax? Should the government raise the federal minimum wage? Let's see what the other chances are. I really think I don't think the government should raise it like explicitly high, but I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. And I like this one here that most minimum wage jobs are meant to develop experience, not support a family. By the time you have a family, you shouldn't be working at a job on minimum wage. You should have worked your way up by then. Do you support a universal basic income program? No. How long is this thing? Looks like we're almost done. Do you support increasing taxes for the rich in order to reduce interest rates for student loans? No. If you get a loan to go to school, that's your problem. Should the federal government pay for tuition at four-year colleges and universities? No. Should critical race theory be taught in K through 12 education? I want to see what these other ones are. No, kids should be raised to be racially colorblind instead of being taught they are inherently racist or disadvantaged based on the color of their skin. Absolutely. Do you support the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act? Obamacare. Absolutely, I do not. Government should not be involved in health care. That's right. Should the federal government increase funding of health care for low income individuals? Yeah, I think it should be up to the state. Do you support a single? Well, actually, personally, I think they should just completely get rid of it. Okay. Do you support a single payer healthcare system? Let's see what these other ones are. Yeah, no, it's too expensive. Yeah, government shouldn't be involved. Should the U.S. build a wall along the southern border? Yes. Mexico should pay for it. Should illegal immigrants have access to government subsidized health care? No. And we should deport them all. Should undocumented immigrants, illegal immigrants, be offered in state tuition rates at public colleges within their residing state? No. And all illegal immigrants should be deported. Foreign policy. Should the government increase or decrease military spending? We should increase because right now we're having some issues. I mean, we should drastically reduce our deficit though. Should the U.S. accept refugees from Syria? Um, Extensive background checks and continuous monitoring to ensure they have no terrorist connections. And then there's this one, yes, but only accept families, no single Muslim men, but that doesn't mean anything. So, extensive background. Should foreign terrorism suspects be given constitutional rights? No. They are not U.S. citizens and do not have constitutional rights. Should the government require children to be vaccinated for preventable disease? No. Um, no, but require vaccination to go to school, fund public ad campaigns about risks. No, but hold parents criminally liable for transferring deadly disease. My thing is, can I add my own stance? My stance would be no. Neither local or federal government should be able to tell a parent that their child should be injected with a vaccine to continue living in, to continue participating in society. That's my answer. Do you support the use of nuclear energy? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Should producers be required to label genetically engineered foods? I would say yes. We have a right to know what's in our food. Local issues. My. Okay. If the 2022 Texas gubernatorial election were held today, which candidate would you vote for? Matthew McConaughey. I would vote for Chad Prather. If the 2022 Texas Attorney General election were held today, which candidate would you vote for? Ken Paxton. Whom would you most like to run for president in 2024? Donald Trump. If the 2022 Texas District 12 U.S. House of Representatives election were held today, which candidate would you vote for? Well, Kate Granger's the only other one. Which qualities are most important to you in a candidate? Integrity, honesty, commitment, determination, intelligence, leadership, effectiveness, diplomacy, common sense, consistency, morality, transparency. Show my results. Thank gosh.
Growing up in a broken home, I lived the challenges that face too many young people of color. I overcame both poverty and inner city violence, earned my degree, served our country, and started a family. But my story has become far too rare. That's why we launched Take Charge, a new organization dedicated to proving that the American dream still works for everyone, regardless of race. We're committed to restoring two parent families, and we believe that education is empowerment. Mothers and grandmothers are the backbone of the black community. That's why we're endowing them with a message of a return to faith, family, and education. We believe that taking charge of our lives will lift our communities to new heights. I'm Kendall Qualls.
Okay, so parties. Here are the political parties ranked from most to least similar to your beliefs. 95% Constitution, decentralization, tough, and anthro anthropocentrism. I don't know what that is. Click the chat box of the political party. Okay. GOP, 93% Republican. Assimilation, traditional right wing, small government, transhumanist. I would say I'm more of a constitutionalist. So this is like I don't get anything read to me. Okay, so here is how much you agree with the political parties on each topic. Okay. Okay. Here is how you compare to your political parties on popular political themes. You side strongly towards assimilation, meaning you strongly believe we should be a unified culture. This theme is most important to you. You side moderately towards unilateralism, meaning you believe policy decisions should be made solely by those who are most affected by the outcome of the decision, despite opposition from those who are less affected or not affected by the outcome of the decision. This theme is okay. You side moderately towards politically incorrect, meaning you believe our society is becoming too sensitive to language that is direct and honest. Yep. You side extremely towards traditional, meaning you are very strongly believe we should be a civilized nation that honors traditional morals and values. You side extremely towards tough, meaning you very strongly believe in tough love and have little sympathy for those that break the law or make bad choices. Well, I would say break the law, but not make bad choices. Here is how you compare to your political parties on traditional ideological axis. So is this me? Here is the percentage of voters who have pledged to vote for each political party. The following map shows where other voters in the country are most to least that what? The following map shows where other voters in the country are most to least similar to your political beliefs. Okay, I see. Oh, yeah, Texas for sure. That's not my zip code, so I don't know why they keep pulling it up. Okay, well, I'm gonna end the video here. I just thought it would be interesting to do something a little different and take some quizzes and learn something about me. And you can go take the quizzes and learn a little something about yourself as well. I didn't know I was a stalwart nationalist, but I did know I was a conservative and a constitutionalist. So that's where we're at. Um, like and subscribe to my channel, please. Leave me a comment if you want to. If you have any questions, you can join my Facebook at Lauren Collins. I just got to say something. My email is gotta say something 21 at gmail.com. My subreddit community is r/just gotta say something. And please, please share the channel on YouTube and let other people know about me so I can get some more subscribers. It really means a lot. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this was fun. I don't know if it was fun for you, but I did absolutely enjoy it. So have a good rest of the day and God bless.